This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Welcome, America. That's right. We want to welcome all of you for tuning in on our new segment that we're doing inside of Home Talk USA called Invent America, where we try to realistically talk about the process of bringing your technology to the market from start to finish, along with my co-host, Rita Crompton. Hey, Rita, I'd like to welcome her now, the Inventor Lady herself. Rita?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. Wow. Well, a lot going on as we start to prepare in a couple months for the International Building Show / the Hardware Show in Las Vegas, where we're going to be attending, and that's a lot of planning going on there. And as we get close to the show, we're going to have some information on our websites. But give us an update. What's happening?
Well, the cool thing for us is that we've got a whole new structure being built for the National Hardware Show. We'll have about 30 inventors in our space. We'll be doing some live broadcasting from our space. And so, it's exciting to have that, new larger area that is dedicated to our inventors who want to be able to license their intellectual property and get their products out there. So, a lot going on with the show this year because it's going to be such a large show. And so it's the Kitchen and Bath, the International Builders Show, and the National Hardware Show, and they are using this year for the first time the entire complex in Las Vegas, which is just huge.
Yeah, 3 shows. So I'm for it because it's going to save me a lot of money. Because I used to have to attend all 3 non-catch-all in one shot. But it's not only a great opportunity to display your current inventors, but I guess you also use it as a recruitment tool, don't you?
Well, we do, and, part of it is that for so many inventors, they get forced into startup mode that is just so expensive, and for our inventors, they want to be able to license their intellectual property, so that means basically they're renting their patent to someone else to make it, sell it, and send them a check, and it keeps the inventors from having to do all the heavy lifting themselves, which is a wonderful opportunity that the inventors have so that they don't have to spend that $500,000 and be experts in building a business, in marketing a business, and in manufacturing. Yep. Because most aren't. They're everyday people. I mean, that's one of the big things about Invent America is that, everyone, everywhere, at any age can be an inventor.
Well, let's talk about
facilitating that.
Well, let's talk about the 3 guests that you have lined up today.
Lexa Gandolfo is our first one. She is the inventor of the Cargo Caddie. And then we have got Leo Mazur from Southern Florida. He's the president of one of the groups in South Florida, also an inventor. He's got a whole bunch of products that are out there. And then our last one is Carmine Denisco, and he's the president of the United Inventors Association. So today we're going to be talking about how those independent groups help give inventors support. A lot of times the greatest resource is the one that's next to you on the screen or sitting in a room that you can say, well, how did you do this? And they say, well, I made a ton of mistakes and wasted a lot of money, but this is where I finally ended up. And so the most valuable resource is a lot of times the person sitting next to you. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
Well, these great companies and organizations, they kind of already laid out the blueprint for possible success. It doesn't guarantee you success, but they kind of lay out a blueprint where basically it really helps you monetarily wise that you won't make the mistakes as past inventors. Am I correct?
Exactly. There are, a lot of times they'll give you the good resources, or at least to point you in the right direction on where to go to get some help. And like for me, when somebody attends the Inventor Roundtable meetings, we do Inventor Roundtable East and Inventor Roundtable West. They're virtual, so anybody, our last meeting we had somebody from Florida, and then we had somebody from Washington State, so we literally crossed the country with our membership on these. But we can say, do it this way, or here's a resource, or this is where you can go to get that first prototype done. So that they're able then to see kind of the steps that people go through to conserve their dollars. I get so many inventors that just throw a ton of cash right away at it, and they need to conserve that, and that's what we help them do.
Well, we only got about a minute left before we're going to get our first guests on, but I always like to drop a little plug. If you're an inventor listening to this show now, I know you've been getting some calls during the week. There is a process that you have in place, right? You care to go over that right quick?
Well, first thing you do is get a hold of me so we can sign a non-disclosure non-compete. And then we go through the steps of, the independent search. Can you do something, or are you infringing on someone else? Those are the first two really big steps. After that, you get plugged into the Inventor's Galaxy Guide, being able to attend the meetings with us, get your questions answered. There's always a book to read. There's always, a speaker to listen to. Here's where we actually allow you to do the talking.
But I want to, in the future, though, I want to drop an educational dime, because I've been getting a lot of texts and emails try not to discourage someone that maybe when they do that research, maybe they find that technology that's already there. But I want to do a show on don't discourage, because there is a patent process on an existing product. If you do differently what the product is, or you have a better way or something to figure out, because you can add to a patent to make it better. Am I correct? Than having something. It's not a dead issue. It's not a dead issue. You
are exactly right. We are going to talk about that. I'm going to put that on my list because you are exactly right. It's the nuances and the newness of something, and I see it happen all the time. Somebody says, "Oh, I can't do that." A flashlight, the light coming out at the end of the stick. But there's new ways to do things.
I remember 20 years ago when I was talking about the ergonomic shovel. Now the shovel the patent hasn't been touched in over 100 years. Then all of a sudden you see all these different ergonomic shovels pop up because the shovel was a little different than the current shovel, and they started getting patents. But we're going to talk about that in the future. But because I don't want to discourage inventors out there that maybe say, "Oh, they already have an invention here. I did my research and I'm going to give up." No, don't give up, because we could maybe come up with a plan to make that existing product better. But we're going to talk about that. But hey, we've got to take a short break. Give us our guests again, Rita. Who are we going to have coming up?
Lexa Gandolfo.
All right, on behalf of the Inventor Lady and myself, the Cajun Contractor, we're going to take a short break. We're going to pay some bills. Please visit the website hometalkusa.com or inventorlady.com. But you can access both from both of our websites. This is Home Talk, right here, the very best of home improvement information and education. Me and Rita will be right back. Yahoo!
Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yay! Welcome back to the only home improvement show dedicated to you, the American consumer. I'm the Cajun contractor Michael King, along with my co-host, Miss Rita Crompton. We want to mention to all of you that Home Talk USA and the Invent America radio program, we do archive it 24/7, 365. So if you happen to miss the radio program on the weekend, that's when we do broadcast live all across this country on the Genesis Communication Radio Network. That's at gcnlive.com. You can just go to our websites, 2 websites. You can go to hometalkusa.com, or you can go to theinventorlady.com. You can catch the show. Right, Rita? They can catch it anytime they want. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, Sunday, Saturday, whatever time they want to catch the show, huh, Rita?
Absolutely. It makes it look like we are working 24/7, my friend. Because generally we are.
We are. This is radio.
I wake up at 2:30 in the morning and thinking, oh, my goodness, here's a topic for the radio. So, yes, we are always working. And our first guest today is Lexa Gandolfo. And today we want to focus on some of those other inventor organizations that are out there because they're a wonderful resource for every independent inventor. And Lexa, in addition to being a very creative inventor, is the co-founder and principal of Open Innovations Group and also the executive director of Invent New England, which is one of the oldest independent organizations in the country dedicated to helping and supporting, educating independent inventors. And she's got a resume that goes on after that, so you're just going to have to go and look for her. But in the meantime, Lexa, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Rita. Thank you, and thank you to Michael, too. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your show to talk about my invention, Cargo Caddie, and also speak a little bit about the value of these independent inventor groups.
Well, first I want you to tell us a little bit about Cargo Caddie, because every inventor we have on, we want you to have a chance to promote your product. So tell us about it.
Yeah, sure. So Cargo Caddie is a shelf organizer for SUVs and CUV trunks. The trunk of an SUV and CUV, a crossover CUV, is shaped like a big box. So Cargo Caddie subdivides this space and provides users a new level of storage space up above the trunk floor. So it's just a shelf for your trunk, and it stows flat against the back of the seat when you don't need it. So think of an airline tray, but just bigger. It's used for storing groceries, bags, camping, hiking, fishing, other outdoor gear, folding chairs, and more. And
right, and when we post this, we will include a link to your site and to some of your video and everything, because a picture is worth 1,000 words on this. And Lexa is looking to license. So any of you guys out there that think that this is a product for you, you get into one of your dealerships and say, where's the Cargo Caddie? Because they're the ones that might be putting some pressure on somebody to license this.
That's right. It's better than Format, Cargo Caddie. Well, for these dealers.
Yeah, Lexi, this is Mike here, the Cajun man here. Now,
hey,
tell us how being a part of this, this inventor group really has been really helpful to you and your company as you try to get the word out there and market this product, and also try to get that license, the licensing, for the product.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the advice and input I've gotten through my involvement with Inventor Groups has been invaluable. I'm involved with the local one here. It's called INCA, the Inventors Network of the capital area. As Rita mentioned, I'm the executive director of Invent New England. I also work closely with the United Inventors Association as an ambassador. all of these groups, my involvement with them has provided extremely informed feedback throughout the development process. I could speak for hours about this, but just in summary, I designed Cargo Caddie at the beginning to be a product that would solve my problem. And then in speaking with all these other inventors, service providers, experts in the field through these independent inventor groups, I started learning about and exploring all these different market segments for the product that I never would have really thought about had I not spoken with them. So in speaking with them, it allowed me to take sort of an iterative process in developing the product, and then I designed it so that it could accommodate all these different market segments.
So, Lexa, when we kind of wrap up our segment with you, what advice do you have for the other inventors that are out there, or somebody who's thinking, well, I think I might have an idea? What advice do you have for them?
My advice would be to join an independent inventor group right away. They're all over the country. There's over 65 active inventor groups, and they all kind of roll up to the United Inventors Association, or many of them do. So, you can go to a local one, and that would be the first step that I would take. I would also encourage people to look at other ones outside of your local area, because a lot of the programming and the educational support is virtual. Finally, I'd say that they're great for any independent inventor, regardless of experience level. My good friend and president of Invent New England, George Peters, has been an independent inventor for over 25 years and has taken multiple products to market. He always tells me how much he still learns from our regular guest speakers that we host at Invent New England, as well as the many independent inventors he and I speak to on a near daily basis. So whether you're new to it, you're kind of middle of the road, or you're a seasoned vet, independent inventor groups are a safe place to go to get the information you need to make educated decisions about your product before spending a lot of money up front.
All right.
Right. And for the virtual ones, you can join the Inventors Roundtable, because it's virtual for anybody in rural America.
All right.
Yes, Rita's groups as well, for sure.
Good. Well, I got to let you know, Lexa, that we are going to have the president of the United Inventors Association a little later on the show in this hour. At the end of the segment, Carmine's going to be on the show. So, all
right.
We'll
say hello to Carmine for me.
Yeah, say hello. Well, we're going to take a short break. Give us that website right quick, Lexa. How can we learn more about you, the Cargo Carrier?
Yeah,
Cargo
absolutely.
Caddie. I'm sorry.
It's VTHE Cargo Caddie, CADDIE.com.
TheCargoCaddie.com. TheCargoCaddie.com. Lexa, I definitely want to thank you, and Rita wants to thank you, so we can take a short break. Thank you again, my buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Bye,
well, we're going to take a short break. Got to pay some bills. Got to hear from some of our great sponsors. By helping to patronize all our great sponsors, basically keeps the Home Talk radio program on the air and the Invent America radio program on the air. So I want to thank all our sponsors. Check them out at HomeTalkUSA.com.
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yeah, hey, welcome back, along with my co-host, Miss Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady herself. Don't forget that we do archive all our shows. I want to explain that. When we're live on the weekend and you want to catch the show live, you can go to GCNlive.com. That's the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. Our show airs live at 3 o'clock Central Time every Saturday from 3 to 6. Now, that's when you can catch the show. Please don't go to our website. Don't go to Home Talk's website. Don't go to the Inventor Lady website. Go to gcnlive.com. Now, after the show is broadcast, then it goes to archive. GCN puts it on their archive site, and then we put it on our archive site. Now, that usually happens around Monday morning. So you can catch the show on the GCN radio network on the weekend, and then it goes to the Home Talk USA radio network website and the InventorLady.com website. So I hope that kind of explains it a little bit, because I've been getting a lot of emails saying, "Hey, we're trying to tune on to the show, and we had, we wanted to listen to Leo Mazur, and then it's somebody else on." It's because you're probably not catching it when it needs to be caught. So I hope that explains it. But all right, Rita, who's our next guest?
Our next guest is Leo Mazur. He is the inventor of the Nonmetallic Raintight Hub. Been working in the electrical contracting business for over 40 years and is a lifelong do-it-yourselfer, makes his own prototypes. And for today, we want to announce that he is the president of a group in Southern Florida. I get to be a speaker there in January. Thank goodness it's virtual so that I can be in multiple major cities across America in a week and never pack a bag. But Leo, I want you to tell us now about, say hi to everybody, and then tell us a little bit about, you've got a whole bunch of products, so tell us about a couple of them.
Well, actually, I'm going to tell you about the one that I did patent. Okay. I identified two situations regarding PVC fittings. Number one, that there was no brand loyalty. Supply houses would buy from the cheapest company all the time. And the other was a growing decline in craftsmanship in the industry. So I designed 6 fittings to compensate for the declining craftsmanship, creating a need that could be patented, creating a forced brand loyalty. My pitch was about all of them, but I made a prototype for the one that I thought they would go for the most. It replaced 2 items that usually cost around $18 at that time, and their contribution to the cost was only about $2. So my fitting cost even less to manufacture than that fitting, so they could easily charge 3 times more than they did for that fitting, and the retailer could charge 3 times more. The end user would only have to pay about half. So it was a win for everybody. I figured this was that it was going to go through absolutely right away. So I pitched it first to Carlon, and Carlon says that they give you 30 days, that they will respond in 30 days. It was over 4 months later that I got a letter from them, and in the middle of the rejection letter, it said in bold letters, everybody loved your idea except this guy. And he gave me the name and his contact information, and it said, and if he won't talk to you, you call me. And he was the head of the, the invention process there in Carlon.
Yeah. It's always a long process for inventors to get through those stages and to reach out to where they need to go and gather information. But during this process, you were involved with an inventor group, and that's what we're talking about today, is just that value, the connections, sometimes the best resources, the inventor sitting next to you. So tell us a little bit about the group and what your group tries to do for the inventors who attend.
Well, I knew from being in the electrical contracting business that groups, trade groups, etc., really get you moving along. So when I decided to get into inventing, I looked around for an inventor group. And I was living in New Jersey at the time, and I found one. It was the National Inventors Association. And they had all these retired guys who used to work for Bell Labs, Singer Sewing Machine. I mean, these are huge guys that, the inventions we all know. So I sat there and I used to talk to them before the meetings and after the meetings and listen to their stories. I supplemented that education with trade shows, expos like the Yankee Inventors Expo and the USPTO Independent Inventors Conferences. So when I moved to Florida, I joined the Inventor Society of South Florida. And I started supplying speakers at the expo. And at the expo, I did my street act to promote them. As people were coming in, I'd say, "Hi, I'm Leo, and this is my stuff, and these are my speakers, and you really got to come, and your first meeting is free," and all that. And the board got so impressed they wanted to make me the president right then and there.
You lucky devil, you.
So instead, I says no. I says to comply with the bylaws. I waited a year, and then I was the president from then on. And we bring in speakers every month that are experts in their field, just like you.
All right, Leo.
Thank you very much.
Leo, I apologize. I got to cut you off there. We have to take a short break. Got to pay some bills up against the clock. But I like your idea with basically you just followed a current blueprint from all these experts that's been there, done that, and that allowed you to be a better inventor when you can follow a previous blueprint. But, hey, Leo, give us that website. I think it's the inventors-society.net, right, is the website?
That's correct. That is our website.
Inventors-society.net. Just spell it out, right?
Right. Inventors, INVENTORS-society, SOCIETY.net.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Thank you so much, Leo. Thank you for being our guest. All right.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King, along with my co-host, Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady herself. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to have the president of the United Inventors Association, Big Cheese, Big Dog, is going to be on the show. I'm excited. Huh, Rita?
Absolutely. Carmine is awesome.
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the Cajun man from the Bayou Land. I'm the originator, not the duplicator. Please don't accept no substitutions. Man, I was green before green was even cool, along with my co-host, the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. We really enjoy you tuning in to us in the Invent America segment of our show. Rita, we have a special guest. Don't we have the president of the United Inventors Association on the line right now?
We do. Carmine Denisco is our next guest. He is an entrepreneur, inventor, patent, and trademark holder. He's invented retail products over the last several decades. With everything he's done, you'd think he was 150 years old. Carmine, thank you for joining us today. And Carmine is the current president of the United Inventors Association. We are talking today about how valuable those independent inventor organizations are to the new inventors. So, Carmine, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you have done as an inventor, and then tell us a little bit about the UIA and what it does to help people.
Awesome. Love you guys. Love the show. This is really great. I've been super excited to come on today. And, I've been inventing. I'm one of those crazy inventors out there, always thinking of ways to make things better, faster, stronger. I don't make much money doing it. I help other people make their products. I'm like one of those mechanics whose car doesn't run right, but everybody else's does. I love the industry. And, I'm the president of the United Inventors Association, which allows me to help more and more people with their inventions and ideas.
So, Carmine, what should an inventor look for? Because there's a lot of groups out there. What should an inventor look for when they're trying to pick a group?
Oh, man, there's so much. So basically, you want to see consistency in the group itself, because if you're an inventor, you want to know if you jump into a group, they are going to be meeting. They're going to give you knowledgeable experience, education. Their speakers are going to be knowledgeable and hopefully successful with their ideas. And, you want to build trust. A lot of times inventors are fearful. So you want to see a group that you can talk to, that you can trust, and see how they are going to help you protect your idea when you're talking about it.
Well, with that said, then how long has the United Inventors Association been around? It's been a few years.
Yeah, the UIA has been around since the early 1990s. I think actually 1990 it was ratified, and it was born out of the United States Patent and Trademark Office as a way for the USPTO to connect directly to inventors without them thinking, oh my God, I'm talking to a government institution, and again, to build that trust. And it's been around for years since.
Let me ask you this right quick, Carmine. It's all about information and education, and I've been talking about I call it a blueprint for success, following a blueprint that's already been there by other inventors where they've already made the mistakes, and to have an information group that can take that information and get everybody in one room. Man, I tell you, it's just I call it a blueprint for success, and that's, I guess, that's what your organization does, right?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, Michael. We have everyone that an inventor could use, an innovator could utilize, whether an inventor, depending on what part of the sequence they're in, the new inventor just came up with the idea, all the way through. And all inventors, we make mistakes, we make missteps, we back up. It's one of those things where you just have to have the right people at the right sequence at the right time. And the UIA is able to drop those people into wherever you are at the present moment. So it really helps accelerate their progress.
Well, we appreciate, the work that you do out there for inventors. And I know that, as we've gone through the last couple of years, you kind of reorganized a little bit and gotten some ambassadors out there. I'm an ambassador for the UIA. Lexa, who was just on, is an ambassador. And so you're really trying to kind of streamline and have the consistency there for the different inventors.
All right, we've got to cut it off. Hey, Carmine, give us that website of your organization.
Great. It's UIAUSA.org, United Inventors Association.
UIAUSA.org. Thank you so much, Carmine, for being our guest on the show.
My pleasure.
All right. I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King, along with my co-host, Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady herself. We're going to take a short break, and, hey, don't go nowhere. We got a lot more. We got some breaking news we're going to be introducing shortly. So, hey, stay tuned right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. Yay!
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. That's right, to the only home improvement show dedicated to you, the American consumer. Along with my co-host, the Inventor Lady herself, Rita Crompton, we got some real good news, some breaking news that the Invent America part of our show will be joining the Home Talk USA TV network when we're going to start producing some episodes for season 4 at the turn of the year, sometime in 2023, and we're going to incorporate some of that segments into our television show, and we're going to have some great news coming on right after the International Building Show and the Hardware Show in the Kitchen and Bath. So great news. But Rita, we're out of time. Wow, where did the time go?
I know, it goes so fast. So
I know.
That's a good thing, though, because now I've always got something to say when we have another one.
Well, Rita, give your website out right quick.
InventorLady.com. We are easy to find. InventorLady.com.
And you can catch all the information about our radio program on the HomeTalkUSA.com. All right. We're going to have to say goodbye. It's over with. Along with my guest, Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady, I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Always try to help your local independent contractors.
Produced by Home Talk Media in association with King's Broadcasting Network and Genesis Communications Network. Broadcast and streamed live from the great state of Louisiana. Host and producer, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Executive producer, Michael Mellinson. Affiliate and sponsor relations, Joe Spera. Comptroller, Sheila Gregoire. Assistant producer, Christian Bethencourt. Board operators provided by Genesis Communications Network. And I'm your announcer, Kevin McCarthy. Music includes King's Creole by Prolific Arts, Cajun Jam by StockMusic.com, and Zydeco City by Steve Rice. Home Talk USA with Michael King is sponsored by Bonide, pest solutions for your home, garden, and lawn. Decorators, take outdoor living beyond ordinary. Aztec Washer, innovative roofing solutions. Seal it right, seal it tight. Trimislab, replace rotten or missing wood with Trimislab expansion joint repair. Masonry Cosmetics, change the color of any porous masonry with proven masonry staining. Green Products Company, #1 in wood preservatives. Preserve, protect, and clean what you value, and most of all, make it last. Bond Products, manufacturers of Instabind, the world's first do-it-yourself carpet binding solution. Deckrite, life is tough. Make your exterior flooring tougher. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Home Talk USA with Michael King. Until next time, visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com.
Yay!